Hello Synapse CI/CD fans, my name is Rui Cunha and I'm a support escalation engineer on the Azure Synapse Analytics team. Welcome to this video series on Synapse CI/CD. In today's video, we will be covering some new and exciting features recently delivered by Synapse CI/CD team to the Synapse Workspace deployment extension. These new features will allow you to automate the publishing of your artifacts from any user branch. As you know, until recently, the ARM template generation could only be triggered from Synapse Studio when using the Publish button. Now, with these new features, you can pick any user branch to generate these ARM templates and how to make this publishing operation from either your Azure DevOps automated workflow or GitHub. Let's watch the demo and see how you can achieve this. Consider this typical CI/CD workflow where you have multiple developers working in feature branches, and when they need to merge their changes to the master branch, they create a pull request. All changes are now part of the collaboration branch, and if they want to generate the ARM templates and publish their changes to the live mode, they have to interact with the Publish button in Synapse Studio. So this is a manual step in this workflow. In today's video, I will show you how you can turn this step into an automated step by using a new feature in the Synapse Workspace deployment task, the validate and deploy operation type. So stay tuned. Here's a simple branching strategy. I'm working on two different projects, Project A and Project B. Each project will have their own feature branches. I have the developer names, John, Rui, working on different features. And then I will have an hotfixes branch on my code on any release that I'm developing in this releases branch. So this is the branching strategy that I have here for my projects. Also, the gateway folders, all code that is ready to be deployed to UAT will land in these branches. One for Project A and another one for Project B. To automate the publish process, we want to avoid this Publish button. So I don't want to merge my changes from my Project A. For example, Project A, I'm working on this feature and I will create a new notebook. Just with this print my notebook Project A, selecting an Apache Spark pool and committing my changes. Now, once my development is finished, what I want to do is to merge my changes, bring this notebook to my gateway branch for Project A. And when I merge these changes, what I want to do is to kick off the deployment, the publishing, to a different environment, to this one. Now, how can we achieve that? I want to isolate this deployment, so I don't want to bring anything from Project B. I just want to deploy this notebook from Project A into a UAT environment. Let's go to this option, Pipelines Releases, and let's create a release pipeline. I'm going to create a new release pipeline. I will start with an empty job here. I will name this as Validate and Deploy Multiple Projects. I will start by adding an artifact, repos, project Synapse CI/CD, select my repo, and my default branch can be the gateway. And I will call this my dev alias here. This is my artifact. Now I'm going to set up this stage here, and this will be Project A UAT ready stage. And I'm going to set up my release, this continuous deployment trigger. Every time a git push occur in my repo, in my gateway branch, I want this release to be triggered. I'm going to click on the add button to add a branch filter. I want this release to be triggered every time a commit is done on the gateway branch. I will just type here gateway/star. In the pre-deployment conditions, I'm going to create this rule here for this stage to kick off when that push happens in the project A branch. Now, I will set up my task and I will add the Synapse deployment task. Select the validate and deploy. When we use this validate and deploy, we are talking about two stages. One, the validate that will be responsible to generate the ARM templates in runtime, and the deploy that will grab these ARM templates and publish to the target workspace. What I'm going to do is to define my artifact root folder, my dev, and I will set up the connection type workspace resource group, which is my RG Synapse, and then my Synapse CI/CD UAT. I think seems to be all good now. I'm going to save this, and back to the pipeline. What I'm going to do is to clone this release. I want this to be created after the release. Name this as project B UAT ready. The condition, the pre-deployment condition for this stage is to kick off when something occurs in the gateway project B. And let's do this. What I'm going to do here is to create a pull request and merge my changes not into main. I don't want to touch my collaboration branch. I just want to publish my changes to a target environment, but without changing anything in the main branch. The things have not been approved yet. I want them to be approved in a different environment for testing, and then once they are approved, then I can merge these changes into my collaboration branch. What I want to do is to merge this into my gateway for project A. This is a project A feature. I want this to be automatically published to the UAT environment. I will keep this feature A branch. I'm merging my changes into my project A, and if we go to the releases, we will see now this release running. It's been triggered. Now if we click on this release, you will see that this is now in progress, and the project B UAT has not been deployed because the artifact conditions were not met. Now what I'm going to do while this stage is in progress, I'm going back to Synapse Studio. My feature, Mark is working on a new feature. Let's create a new SQL script for Mark. Okay, select add version, for example, doesn't matter. Commit, this is ready to be deployed in UAT. Create a pull request, and Mark's new feature will be merged into the project B gateway branch. I will create now. Complete merge. And if we go now to the validate and deploy, a second release is now underway. Let's click on the release 2, and it will be now the project B that will kick off this stage. The project A UAT ready stage, the conditions were not met, and by doing this we can automate the deployment, so no interaction with this publish button is necessary, as I'm able now to deploy from any user branch without any interaction with Synapse Studio. If I go now here to my UAT, let me just refresh the browser. Here it is, my notebook deployed from project A, and my SQL script, it's been deployed. So now we have two artifacts from different projects deployed to my target workspace without the need to interact with Synapse Studio to publish these changes. Now again, if we go here to the deployment task, the validate and deploy will generate the ARM templates, and you can see here the ARM templates being generated. Here it is. The template for Workspace was generated to this folder, exported artifacts folder, and the template parameters for Workspace as well. Now, these templates were generated using the standard or default parameters template. If you want to use a custom parameters template, then what you need to do is on the project A, for example, in the root folder, you must have the template parameters definition JSON file. The root folder of your branch should have that definition file for the ARM template parameters to be generated according to that definition. In this root folder that you set up here, if you go to Edit Pipeline, Dev, when you define the root folder, here, you should have the template definition JSON file. If not, the default parameters template will be used. Now, this is one scenario where you can automate the publishing operation to a target environment. Of course, that in case you wanted to publish anything in the same workspace, the idea would be the same, but the target workspace, of course, would be the same as the source. So here you should have your dev workspace. In scenarios where you don't want to publish your changes or merge your changes to the collaboration branch and to publish the changes directly to live mode. So I just want, for example, I have a pipeline. I don't want to merge my pipeline with my collaboration branch, but I want to trigger the pipeline, so I need to publish. So you can use this validate and deploy feature to publish your pipeline from your feature branch to live mode, and there is no visibility on the main branch that this pipeline exists. So this is another scenario where the validate and deploy operation type can be helpful. Let us know your thoughts and share your ideas, tips and tricks in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.